Joining me now is Philadelphia's mayor and a Hillary Clinton supporter, Michael Nutter, and a proud graduate of this University of Pennsylvania as well. Good to see you, Mr. Mayor. You took a real bet here. This was a gamble, going with Hillary Clinton. Let's face it, white woman, black male candidate. Your city, has a large black constituency and an overwhelming support for Barack Obama. Why Hillary Clinton?
Well, both candidates certainly represent a historic opportunity for this country and our great Democratic Party. But I had a wonderful opportunity to meet with both Senator Clinton and Senator Obama back last year in December. Talk with each of them about the issues that I thought were important as I was about to be sworn in as mayor of Philadelphia. We talked about public safety, education, investments in our infrastructure, how we make the federal government relevant in the lives of people on issues of poverty, and many other issues. And after going through that process and that analysis, talking with both, listening to their answers, looking at their backgrounds and history, it was very clear, and it was really not a tough choice to support Senator Clinton. I know her history, her experience, and had a really great feeling about the kind of president that she will be. And so once I made the decision, it was fine.
How did she lose a 20-point lead? This race, according to all the polling at least, is in single digits.
Well, Pennsylvania is a microcosm of the United States of America. Pennsylvania always tightens up in a serious race. And as we see this race all across the country, there is about a 1% difference in their total votes between the two candidates. And so voters have certainly gotten to know Senator Barack Obama much better. I mean, he's outspending Senator Clinton 3-to-1 on TV. Give him credit for his fundraising prowess. But as the voters get to know candidates better, they hear the different messages, they start to really focus in on this race. From my perspective, at least on the ground, it's not about how much you win by. First and foremost, you want to win. Secondly, of course, a good win gives you the momentum now to go to, West Virginia, Indiana, North Carolina, and many other states and territories along the way. So it was always going to tighten up. No one ever believed that you were going to see some 20-point win in Pennsylvania.
This is the third oldest state in the Union. Mm-hmm. She does better with older voters. Yeah. This should have been, tailor-made for her. Health care is a huge issue here, sure. Economic issues. And yet she's been struggling. She's in debt, according to the FEC filings today. Yeah. He's raised $41 million in March. She $20 million. Yeah. She's at least $1 million in debt. If she doesn't win big in Pennsylvania, does she limp out of here? How does she even get back on television?
I think she comes out strong. I think many times Senator Clinton, unfortunately, has been counted out by some folks. I've been counted out a time or two. This time last year, no one predicted that I was going to win the Democratic primary and be mayor of the city of Philadelphia. So she is strong. She's resilient. She's demonstrating all of the characteristics, quite honestly, that you need to be president of the United States of America. And when you look at Senator Clinton's track record over a 30-plus year period of time, the ups and downs in the course of this campaign, being president is not always a stroll in the park, or in this case, a stroll in the Rose Garden. There will be tough days. You will get knocked down, and she's demonstrated time and time again her strength and her ability to get back up and keep fighting.
Mr. Mayor, what does she mean with the ad that she put up today, which said, if you can't take the heat, then get out of the kitchen? Is she saying Barack Obama isn't tough enough to be president, isn't tough enough to take on the Republicans?
Well, I haven't seen the ad on television, but I've heard about it, and certainly that seems to have come out of some of the aftermath of the debate that was held right here in Philadelphia last week. The candidates seem to be complaining or at least opining that there were some tough questions for Senator Obama. It's a tough job. I'll leave it to the senator to determine whether or not the questions were fair or not, but certainly you're going to get some tough questions in this life. I've had a few in my political career, and so I think what the purpose of the ad is, as best I can understand, being president of the United States is a difficult job. There are many circumstances under which your judgment will be questioned. You'll have to do a little bit of a gut check to figure out what to do, and also rely on great advisors around you. And so I think we're trying to get ready for the fall. Certainly it's going to be a vigorous campaign with the Republicans, and there are a few people who run countries around the world who maybe are not the nicest folks in the world either. So you got to be tough for this job. Certainly Senator Clinton is ready on day one to be president of the United States.
Now, speaking of being tough, let's say that Barack Obama, who is ahead in delegates, ahead in popular vote, ahead in numbers of primaries and caucuses won, let's say he's the nominee. What happens in Philadelphia to Michael Nutter, a newly elected mayor who has backed the wrong horse?
No, we were in a Democratic primary, and the wonderful thing about being in the United States is you can support whomever you want. I'm a good Democrat, and certainly if Senator Barack Obama is the Democratic nominee, I'm going to be standing right next to him trying to get him elected President of the United States. Philly is fifth largest city in the country, a very important component to winning Pennsylvania. I think people who are true professionals in this business leave the primary behind. Let's move on for the general election. That's certainly what I did coming out of a 5-way primary last year for the mayor's race.
You don't think there'll be political retaliation against you?
I would certainly hope not. I think the senator's a little more mature than that. We shouldn't have any of that kind of activity. We're all good Democrats.
And John McCain, do you think that John McCain could carry Pennsylvania because the Democrats have beaten each other up so much?
Pennsylvania is a Democratic state. It is firmly in the blue. Democrats know how to rally around each other. Pennsylvania will be in play, and I'm sure the Republicans will spend a lot of time, money, and effort trying to convince Pennsylvanians. But no one really is prepared, I think, in this state, at least for a third term of the George Bush presidency, and that's what we're looking at with John McCain.
What are you and the other Democratic Party leaders here in Philadelphia going to be doing tomorrow? There's the old practice of walking around money, street money, handing out money to the ward healers. Is that what goes on in Philadelphia to this day, on Election Day?
That's not how I plan to spend my day tomorrow. I will be going around to many parts of the city, just checking to see what's going on, certainly energizing the troops out there, get people out, make sure they're knocking on doors, getting every possible voter out, as Senator Clinton was talking about on the piece that you played earlier. We want to make sure that, I encourage people, go get your friends, go get your family members, use this as an excuse to talk to somebody you don't even like. Make sure they come out and participate in this incredible election opportunity that many of us, including myself certainly, and I think most people across the country, no one thought that Pennsylvania was going to play a significant role in this primary. It's our opportunity to show who we are and what we're about.
Is there any concern about voter intimidation, about keeping it all clean tomorrow, given how high the passions have been between these two partisans?
No, I think the supporters recognize and understand that there's a way for us to be passionate for our candidate, conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, and I don't think you'll see any inappropriate activity in Philadelphia tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor Michael Nutter, glad to see you, and we'll be out with you seeing how things go at the polls tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And